Chetan Bhagat's 11 Rules for Life Secrets to Level Up. Introduction. I still remember that day in 2014. I was walking around Bandra, which is where I live in Mumbai. I passed Globus, a theatre that was screening Two States, a movie based on my book of the same name. The movie was a hit, the third one in a row after Three Idiots and Kai Poche. 5,000 theaters around the country were screening the story that had once randomly popped up in my head. The country's biggest movie stars had worked for years enacting characters I had created. Directors and other crew members had worked tirelessly to bring my story to life. Continuing on my walk, I passed a bookshop. Many of my books were on the bestseller list. They had been there for years. It had been a decade since my first book had been published. The publishing industry experts said had never been the same again. My next book, Half Girlfriend, was also ready for release. Flipkart, a new online retailer at that time, had already booked the full front page jacket of the Times of India announcing my new book. The cost of the ad a whopping 2 crore rupees. No book in India had ever had such an announcement. I also wrote editorial columns on national issues in the same newspaper. I had brand endorsement deals, TV show offers, and marketing tie up opportunities, all unheard of for an author. In a country where one is lucky to sell a few thousand copies of a book, mine had sold millions. The Time magazines had included me in the list of the 100 most influential people in the world. Massive success had come on my way, far beyond what I had ever imagined. I had had a tormented childhood and grew up in adverse circumstances in a country where few made it. Yet, as some would say, I had arrived. At that point, when my fame and success were at their peak, I was on a high. I did not even fully realize how it all had happened. Today, 10 years later, as the high has subsided, I had had a chance to reflect on my life. I have now lived for nearly 5 decades on this planet. That's a lot of life to study from. I have also had a chance to interact with many people who have had made it or arrived. These include engineers, bankers, professors, movie stars, writers, media stalwarts, publishing industry heads, writers, politicians, CEOs, businessmen, startup founders, and billionaires. I have had a chance to study these successful people across different fields as well as reflect on my own life. I have had time to observe and understand what works in life and what does not. This book is my way of giving back, my chance to share all that knowledge, wisdom, and gyan with you. This is not just a quick motivational Instagram reel you swipe up and forget about. This is the distillation of everything I have learned throughout my life. Most people of India don't read anymore. They are lost in their screens, watching mindless content day and night. The fact that you have picked up this book already puts you ahead of them. My only request would be to take what I say here seriously, but don't be all serious and brooding in life. I can't imagine my readers like that. This book has the power to transform your life if you let it. Apply this knowledge, take actual concrete action after reading this book. Change something. I want you to do extremely well and be super happy. That's the only reason I have written this book. I have achieved enough and I will keep doing more. But today, what gives me real joy is sharing my knowledge, using my writing skills, and leveraging my popularity to reach you and help you get ahead. I want you to live an amazing life, become the best version of yourself, and reach your own massive success moment. I want you to be in the top echelons of society in terms of status. I want you to be one of the happiest people on earth. It's not easy to achieve all this, but it's possible. I did it, you can as well. You just need to unlearn a few things and learn some new ones. You need to understand that life is not about what they taught you in school, nor is it what you well meaning mom and dad told you at the dining table. The world is not a nourishing, cuddly, loving place waiting to support you. No, that's the world your parents gave you as a child. As an adult, the real world is harsh and tough. India is more competitive than most other places in the world, and hence it is even harder to make it here. It requires two things: one, a lot of work, and two, knowledge of some life secrets that nobody tells you in school, college, or at home. Let's make a deal. If you are ready to do work, I will tell you these secrets. There are 11 in all. Do we have a deal? Cool. Let's go. Welcome to 11 Rules for Life. The Zomato delivery guy and I. My Zomato order was 30 minutes late. I checked the tiny bike icon on my app. My delivery partner, the guy bringing my order, was stuck around a kilometer away from my house. My little ball of nourishment was with him. I called him twice. His phone was busy. Gosh, I was hungry. I told myself not to get worked up. It's only a delayed order of Rajma rice. I just had to sit on my couch and wait. Someone has cooked and packed my food. Someone else was carrying it in his backpack and riding a bike to bring it to me. A few thousand years ago, if I wanted food, I would have had to go out in the forest and brave wild animals. If I was lucky, I would find some fruit or hunt a little animal. No fruits was huntable animals on Bandra streets anymore. Now, apps did the hunting for me. My phone told me my order would be with me in a few minutes. All I had to do was relax and wait. And yet, I found it hard to relax. Imagine images of steaming hot rajma rice kept floating in my mind. Where is my food? Be here already. I screamed in my head. Hunger makes it difficult to feel grateful for modern technology or being better off than our hunter gatherer ancestors. My doorbell rang. I rushed to open the door. A dark skinned man in his late 20s stood in front of me. He wore a ill fitting red t shirt too tight around his chubby waist. The t shirt had the Zomato logo. His face and hair were covered with sweat. He removed a huge backpack to take out my food parcel. He was panting and trying to catch his breath. Sorry, I am sorry, sir, he said in a sincere, fearful, and breathless voice. My bike broke down. I gave him a cursory nod. I took almost snatched the food from him as he thought that I was early man from the Stone Age who had found an apple after 3 days. I wondered if it would be rude to start eating right in front of him. Please don't leave me a bad review, he said, joining his palms. What? No, I won't, I said. But what happened? You were stuck at your location. It. It was a bike puncture, he said. Oh, how did you finally manage to hear then? I dragged the bike to the petrol pump, fixed the puncture, and then drove. This is why the delay. Really? But your location in the app did not move at all. I shot him an unconventional look. He remained quiet. I called you twice. Your phone was engaged. Are you sure your bike broke down? He looked at the floor as if he ashamed to give me a real answer. Anyway, I said, I have my food. I'm good. No bad ratings or reviews needed. I smiled at him. Thank you, sir. He seemed visibly relieved. Sorry once again. You want some water? I asked. He nodded. I went to the kitchen and returned with a glass of water. He stood staring at his phone, tears streaming down his face. Are you okay? I said as I handed him the glass. He nodded, composed himself, and placed his phone back in his pocket. He took a sip of water. What's your name? Viraj. Viraj Shukla. Sir. Why? You won't report me, no? Sir. Please don't. I will lose my job. I won't. You seem upset. Just wanted to check if you are okay. I am okay, he sighed. After a pause, he said, actually, I am not okay, sir. He clenched his lips to prevent himself from crying again. I checked the time, 2:30 p.m. I had a Zoom call with a client at 3 p.m. Do you have to make another delivery right now? I said. He shook his head. Lunchtime is over. Deliveries are slow now. Until the evening, he said. You want to tell me what happened? He looked at me, surprised and confused. What is making you so upset? I opened the door a little further to allow him to enter. You are interested in my story, sir? Really? Yeah. I have half an hour. I have to eat my lunch, but please eat, sir. Please, I already made it late. Have you had lunch? He shook his head. Fine, let's share. He looked dumbfounded, but before he could refuse or say something else, I gestured to him to come inside and quickly brought plates and cutlery from the kitchen. I sat down at the dining table and opened the parcel of food. Come, Viraj, sit. Sir, how can I have your food and sit here with you? Why, bro? I want to listen to you, but I am starving and I can't just eat by myself with you talking to me. So please, I gestured to him to sit on the chair in front of me. Hesitantly, he sat down. I scooped out some rajma and rice into his plate. Nobody has ever done this, sir, Viraj said. It's fine. It's nice to have company. And thank you, he smiled. Let's eat. I am famished. I dug into my food, relishing the spoonfuls that landed in quickly succession in my mouth. We ate in silence for a minute before he spoke again. My bike did not break down, sir. I know, you do. Yeah, you were on a call. That is what made you disturbed, right? Yes, sir. What happened? My girlfriend broke up with me. Oh, I said, somewhat relieved. At least nobody had died. She was the love of my life, meant everything to me. Okay, I said, spooning rice and rajma together. The current love of my life. Arpita and I had been together for the last 8 years. I understand. You were on a call with her. Yes. She finally picked up after I had called her 20 times in the last week. 20? Maybe more, 30, 40. That's why it was now or never, my last chance to get her back, and it did not work, did it? He shook his head. He looked down in his plate, his eyes tears up again. He began to sob. It's strange to see a fully grown, overweight man in a tight, bright red t shirt cry. I passed him a tissue. Sorry, he said, composing himself again. Must have been some girl, I said. I am a photo postgraduate. You know, I have an MA. Most delivery boys have not studied as much as I have. Which subject? History, sir. Call me Chetan. Okay, sir. I mean, Chetan, sir. How old are you, Viraj? 29. Hmm. And what do you want in life? What life? My life is over. Arpita is gone. I have this job which I could lose any time. Nothing I want from life. If I die tomorrow in a bike accident, it will be okay. Maybe that will be the best thing. I looked at him, stunned. He gobbled down a few spoons of rajma rice to quickly finish his meal. You want to die at 29? I said. What's the point of living, sir? You have no idea about my life. You have this beautiful house. You are a well known writer. You have this wonderful life with fame, money, respect. You obviously cannot understand why anyone would want their life to end. Your life is beautiful, mine is terrible. So, yes, death won't be a big loss, it will be a relief. Don't talk like that. It is true. I ride a bike 12 hours a day in heavy traffic. I pick up sandwiches and milkshakes from restaurants and take them to people's doors to satisfy their snack cravings. That's all I do. Yesterday I drove 40 minutes to deliver two pans. Can you believe it, Chetan sir? Driving 10 kilometers in rush hour to deliver two pans. The customer ate them in front of me, gone in 5 seconds. I gave a wry smile. Pan would have been wonderful after Rajma rice. I thought. I scolded myself mentally and tried to focus on Viraj's words. Then I had to drive back again to pick up another order and half an hour away. That's my life, day after day. My back hurts with my head hurts. Why don't you take another job? I will, but I needed a job urgently and this is all I could get. Okay. I had no money, zero. This was a way to get some. You do know there is nothing wrong in being a delivery boy, right? I said, it's a respectable way to earn a living. Yeah, he said, but looked unconvinced. The question, though, is that enough for you? Meaning, Viraj looked blank. How much do you get paid? Depends. Say 18,000 a month on average. Is that enough? No, this is Mumbai. Just my rented room in a slum cost 8,000 rupees. Then there is food and other living expenses. I have nothing left at the end of the month. Where are you from? Yavatmal. It's in Maharashtra only. I know the place. Is that where your parents stay? Yes. And your girlfriend too? She did. But then she moved to Mumbai to do an aviation academy course. I thought she had moved in this to this city for me, but he fell silent mid sentence. But what? But she met another guy in Mumbai and she left me for him. Threw away our 8-year old relationship. Threw away. Fine. Even I realized I did not have a great career and I could not promise a good future. That guy can do that. Which guy? Her new boyfriend. I have only seen him on her Instagram page once. She had posted a story in which he was sitting with him in his car. Okay, he has a car. Yeah, a BMW. Do you have a car? Why are you making fun of me, sir? Of course, I don't. How can I? How can he? He who? The guy Arpita left you for. I don't know, sir. Arpita said he works in a bank or something. He has a good salary and you don't. No, sir. And why is that? Luck, sir. Everyone has their kismat. Yeah, everyone has their kismat, is it? Do you think someone someday will call you and say, here, have some kismat? He looked up at me to deflect my question. He adjusted his tight t shirt. I need to get a bigger size, he said, averting his eyes from mine. I smiled. Yes, I know what you are thinking. I am fat. Viraj rubbed his neck as he smoked. I did not say anything. I said, 86 kilograms. I am 5 feet 7 inches in height. I am fat. I know it. All this happened over the last year. It's okay. Is Arpita's new guy also as heavy? No, he is slimmer. He is fit actually. What? Why is that kismat? I don't get time to exercise or cook healthy food, sir. Whatever I get in at the end of the day, vada pav, samosas I eat, I have no choice. I kept quiet. You have no idea how much I loved Arpita. That new guy can never love her that much. And yet Arpita saw, which you say is correct too, a better future with him. Girls are like that only. Yeah, so it's Kismet fault that you don't have a high paying job, this job's fault that you can't eat healthy, and the general nature of girls that you are now heartbroken. Hmm, he looked shocked. I checked my watch. My call was scheduled to start in 5 minutes. I need to go, I said. Anyway, nothing is your fault, so nothing to be done. Nothing I say matters. No, sir, please continue. I think you are getting at something. I need to hear it. I will say things that are hard for you to hear. They will hurt you or offend you. You will then blame me for making you feel worse about your life, which you already think is quite bad. What hurt, offend? No, no, it's okay. Please say it. Not today. I must go, I said and stood up. But let's do this. I will order lunch again tomorrow after I finish my daily writing quota. Pick up that order around 1 o'clock. Would you be able to do that? I can. If you tell me the exact time, I will be waiting and ready to accept your order. Cool. You bring me the food. I will tell you truths about life you need to hear. Done. Done, sir. I will have to tell the other delivery boys in the area not to pick up the order from your address. Yes, done. And no matter what, do not call or message Arpita anymore. Huh. Okay, I won't. See you tomorrow, he said and left. Perfect timing, I said. Viraj handed me my lunch parcel right on time. I took out the bowl of Sindhi curry that came with chapatis I had ordered from a place called Sinful, which specializes in Sindhi food. The runny and sour curry was a chef's special, made in a tomato base with various vegetables such as bhindi, baby corn, and drumsticks. It looked and smelled delicious. I offered to share my food with Viraj again, but he refused. I ate already a lot, he said. Fine, I will also eat later then. I kept my bowl aside. Tell me today's truth about life, Viraj said. Sure. Did you call or message Arpita? No, I wanted to, but I did not, I promised you. Did you see her Instagram post? Yes, he said, avoiding my gaze, and I liked them too. Oh dear, I'm sorry. I miss her too much. She was my life. Do you know why she was your life? Because I love her. No, because apart from her, you have no life. Sure, you are alive, but there was nothing good in your life apart from her, so her loss stings a lot. How can you say that, sir? You disagree. I don't know, sir. It just hurts. I don't know how my life became the way it is. I did everything right. I tried to at least. What right things did you do? Followed what my parents told me to do. They encouraged me to work hard, be a kind person, respect others, care for people. Basically, they said be a good person and good things will happen to you. And that's what I tried to do. And it did not work. Look at my life. I have no money in the bank. Rather, I owe my friends 40,000 rupees. I have no girlfriend, no future. You are only 29. How can you say you have no future? Don't fool me, Chetan sir. I know I don't. I am a delivery boy. People my age are software programmers, lawyers, CAs, and doctors. I will never be that. This is my fate now. Kismat. Yes, you don't believe in it. But yes, it is luck. I studied like all the other students in school. Somehow I got distracted in 10th standard and got low marks. Took arts and then did graduation in history. People told me graduation is not enough. I did my masters. Then I came out of college and had no job. Searched for an entire year before becoming a delivery boy. Okay, let's talk about that today. What? What's doing the right thing and Kismet? What about it? That's that it's all nonsense. The way you think, rather the way you and the millions of other young Indians have been made to think. How do you I think? You don't think. You are only made to think. By whom? By those in society above you who want you to serve them. I can think on my own. No, you can't. Your brain has been lulled, hypnotized. Not just you, millions like you. The underclass, the workers, the drones. What? I will tell you in detail. Ready for the lesson of the day. Yes. Good. Over the course of our next few meetings, I will be telling you my secret rules of life. Secret rules? What are the secret rules of life to life? Yes, but before that, it is important to know how the world actually works. Meaning, did they ever teach you how the world actually works in school or college? No. I don't think so. Exactly. Because they did not want you to know. But now it is time for you to find out. Pre rules warm up. How the world actually works. No one is going to come help you. No one's coming to save you. David Goggins. The world we see first as a child is that of our home. When we are little, our home is the entire universe. We form our views on how people are and how they behave based on what happens in our immediate family. However, we do not realize that as children we get an extra level of attention and caring than what exists in the world. When you were hungry, all you had to do was cry. Your mother brought you food. She would feed you, clean you, and give you kisses and hugs just for finishing your lunch. When you learned to walk or talk, everyone home became excited and cheered for you. You felt loved and supported. All this made you believe the world outside is the same. When you started school, your early years too were about the same love and support. There were numbers and nursery rhymes to learn, fun games to play, and hardly any pressure. You sang at assembly, and your teachers told you stories in class. They also taught you moral values of being good, honest, fair, and kind. As you grow older, you learnt more new things. You were taught that those who work hard get rewarded in life. You learnt about equality and justice, or how everyone born on this earth must have equal rights and opportunities. Studies became harder as school progressed. However, when you did well, everyone praised you. If you topped the class or won a race on a sports day, you received a medal. Hence, you learned the concept of meritocracy. You do well, people will applaud you, support you, and give you an award. Nobody is out to get you. The world just wants you to progress and rise. Sorry, but all this is not true. Sure, people want all these good values to exist. Many even believe they exist. They see the world like exhibit I below. It is like seeing the world from the top. It appears flat. There are people and they all exist in society with equality, fairness, and justice. Hence, work hard, get good marks, you will be rewarded, loved, and supported. The flat, everything is equal, people are good and fair, top view of the world. However, it is a distorted, false view of the world compared to how things actually work. The reality is that the world is not flat when it comes to how society is organized. Instead of the flat top view, it is better to see the world from an overall perspective and realize that it is more like a 3D mountain. It is more like a 3D mountain. The everything is fair and equal flat view model of the earth ignores something big, class and hierarchy. The world is a mountain made of several tiers. For clarity, I will simplify them into three main tiers. Imagine the world to be like a three-tiered mountain, like a wedding cake. This is represented in Exhibit 2. The three class model of the world: the elite protectors and minders, workers, drones, and slaves. Look at Exhibit 2 carefully. This is how the world is organized. But nobody tells you that. The world classifies its people within a hierarchy of classes. Let's talk about each of them in some detail. Class 1: the elite. At the top is the elite class or class 1, the rich, powerful, and famous, or a combination of all three. These are industrialists, entrepreneurs, politicians, media moguls, movie producers, movie directors, movie stars, sports people, fund managers, investors, CEOs, CFOs, and people at the absolute top of their fields. They are the smallest class in terms of the number of people, commonly referred to as the one percenters in popular media, implying they are only around 1% of the world's population. I don't have exact percentage, and this 1% is just an educated estimate. However, they wield the most clout and control almost everything that happens in the world. I am not being a conspiracy theorist. I am not implying that the 1% elite talk to each other and plan to screw over the rest of the world. That's not true. This 1% of the world's 8 billion population, and that is 80 million, is still a large number. These 80 million people can't all be connected or conspiring against the rest. However, these one percenters collectively control most of the world's resources, money, and power. Like any other human being, they make conscious they make decisions based on what is best for them. Hence, invariably, they use all that the world has to offer to serve themselves first. Sure, they want to sound and look good. Some of them talk of helping the world or of equality, but they are obviously quite happy with the unequal place they have in society, which is in the top 1%. People don't find inequality unjust when they are the ones with the unfair advantage. I am not judging these people. Some would say I some would say, and rightly so, that I too belong to this class now. However, I was one of you at one point. I want you to get here as well. My purpose of writing this book is to help you join this elite 1% class. It's hard as hell if you don't already belong here, but it is not impossible. It is difficult because heavy iron gates that act as entry barriers block those below from reaching the peak of the mountain. The elite are not only protected by these iron gates but also by a whole other class which guards and protects the elite. This is what I call class 2, the protectors. Class 2: elite servers, protectors, and slave minders. Class 2, or the second class of the people, are those who serve, protect, and work for the elite. They are around 9% of the total population. Again, I don't have an exact percentage, so that is just my rough estimate. Class second is still a minority but is a lot larger than the elite 1%ers. Class second elite protectors are the white collar class, the lawyers, doctors, engineers, bankers, accountants, certain higher grade government employees, sales managers, executives working in MNCs and similar level professions. They are the upper middle class who, if they save like hell, could also become borderline class 1 level rich. They are the bourgeois of the French Revolution. The people who are fewer in numbers are not the super elite but still have significant influence. The elite hire them to run their corporations and factories, get their hospital treatments, do their accounts, and serve them in other ways. Elite protectors also perform another essential function. They manage the class below them, or class 3, the workers, drones, and slaves. The class 3 population is the largest in this world and easily outnumbers the other two other classes above it. If this class is not managed well, it could shake the world. It could take back control from the elite. Indeed, that is what happened in some socio-economic revolutions in the history of our world. However, for the most part, class second ensures the class third behaves itself well. Class 3 plays its role of being workers, drones, and slaves for the world, and the elite protectors class ensures this hierarchical way of functioning continues to run in a smooth manner. The interclass iron gates prevents class jumps or climbing up to a higher class. The class 2 elite protectors further ensure class jumps are rare, especially from class 3 to an upward class. For instance, some elite protectors work for a multinational corporation in management roles. When hiring new people, they see to it that they hire from the same elite protectors class. They only recruit from the colleges where the children of elite protectors study. They almost never allow a class third drone to join them at their level. Their instinctive nature is to not allow anybody below them to rise easily. Class 3, drones, workers, and slaves. This is society's largest segment, at probably around 90% of the population. In India, especially, the existence of this underclass is stark and obvious. Income levels are lower and vary significantly even within this class. This segment comprises the poor, lower middle class, and middle class. Money is always tight for people in this category. The highest anyone in this class normally aspires to reach is the middle class. The middle class level in India, a relatively low per capita income country, is not particularly high standard of living anyway. Class 3 people do most of the work to run our country. People in this category start from the lowest paying jobs: daily laborers, domestic helpers, janitors, workers at roadside stalls, etc. This category also includes clerks, delivery boys, retail salespeople you see in shops at malls, waiters, hotel staff, factory workers, drivers, cooks, receptionists, cleaners, the person who comes to connect your Wi-Fi at home, the guy at the mobile phone repair shop, and similar professions. People in this class make just about enough for them to survive. If there is an emergency spend, like say an unexpected big medical expense, the class 3 person ends up in debt. Even if class 3s try their best to save money, they never accumulate reasonable wealth or assets. They cannot afford expensive education for their children. As a result, they stay in this class all their life, as do their kids. The iron gates, which we will discuss in the next section, are extra strong here to prevent class 3s from moving up. The iron gates. What keeps this class hierarchy intact are the iron gates. These are the various entry barriers which make it almost impossible for someone to jump class. Sure, sometimes class jumps do happen in India. When it does, it is seen as a rare event. Those who have done so become mini heroes. However, most people are expected to remain in their class and never attempt to break open the iron gates. Exhibit 3 shows what comprises the iron gates, or the actual reasons why class jumping is so hard. The iron gates challenges that prevent jumping class 1, class 2, and class 3. Class 1 is like networking, hard work, luck, or God given talent, creativity. Class 2, English, entrance exams, body language, networking, cultural context, access to job opportunities, and last is class 3. For instance, one key barrier to jumping class 3 to class 2 is English. Without good English speaking skills, you are judged and condemned to remain in class 3 in India. Of course, if you are already in class 1, this won't apply. A powerful politician or successful sportsperson fluent in Hindi but poor in English will not be judged as much. English is just one of the blocks at the iron gates that prevent a class jump. Other barriers include hyper competitive entrance exams. These require a massive amount of hard work but may offer successful candidates an opportunity to class jump. However, only a tiny percentage make it. The rest are rejected, depleted of the energy and resources they have spent trying to clear these monstrous exams. Similarly, body language, cultural context, networking, job opportunity access, all these things are usually used as iron gates to keep the lower class out and away from better jobs or opportunities. For instance, a delivery boy would never have the networking needed to get a job at a multinational firm. His body language alone will remind people of his class and automatically limit his opportunities. Iron gates exist between class 2 and class 1 as well. A big jump to class 1 is reserved for the very few who can break or climb over these gates and jump up. This requires networking right at the top, hard work well beyond the average, a certain amount of luck, or God given talent and creativity. Mostly class 1 people are like to keep this extremely rare 1%er class to themselves and for their kids who automatically become the next generation class 1. Your goal to cross your Okat and jump class. You have no control over where you are born in class 1, 2, or 3. Moreover, society is designed to keep you in that same class throughout your life. Most people are so caught up with basic survival that the barriers seem insurmountable and that makes them accept their fate. However, in recent times, technology has changed a few things. Today, no matter which class you belong to, you can see on social media how people of the higher classes live their lives. You know exactly where the country's rich, famous, and influential go on vacation, which cars they drive, the food they eat, and the houses they live in. For most people, this is fun to watch. It is voyeuristic entertainment and a way of living vicariously. Most people know they will never go to London for a holiday or drive a Mercedes Benz SUV. However, it's fun to see their favorite movie star living that life. Between making food deliveries of biryani, a delivery boy can see the Maldives resort where his favorite actress went. An accountant's intern on a Mumbai local can see the Austrian spa where her favorite actor goes to get in shape. That's all the accounts intern will ever hope for is in life. To watch these images of the wonderful life, even as she scrambles to survive and serve the higher classes. And that is how the world actually works. If you believe in stuff like equality, equal opportunities, good things happen to good people, you have been fooled. You are born into a class. You are expected to remain in your area of the class mountain. Try to climb up and will stumble against the iron gates. You will also be kicked back down. It's not fair. In fact, it's highly unfair. It is not supported. It's rigged. If you believe in stuff like equality, equal opportunities, and good things happen to good people, you have been fooled. You are born into a class, you are expected to remain in your area of the class mountain, try to climb up, and you will stumble against the iron gates. However, now that you know this, you can do something about it. Your eyes are open. You have seen the mountain in 3D as a whole rather than a distorted fake flat view from the top. Now you can find a path amongst the rocks, cracks, and jagged edges to slowly climb up with while nobody is looking. You can smash open the iron gates and jump across the barriers. Your life's mission can be to climb up the class mountain until you reach the top. There is a concept in India called Aukat, a word which has no exact English translation but status. Come somewhere close. To access, to achieve what is to jump class and cross your Aukat, you too can cross your Aukat and advance to levels that are unexpected, perhaps even unimaginable even for you. You may or may not finally reach the absolute top, but adopting this mindset of crossing your Aukat will ensure one thing: you will reach your potential and become the best version of yourself. You will get to a better place, even if not the best place. You will live a more worthwhile life. All this is a quest to fight the sharks and cross the seas to reach greener, calmer shores. It's tough, however, it's a hell of a lot better than wasting your life. There is pain in progress, but there is pain in stagnation and decline too. It's hard to do well, but it's equally hard to live a life of failure. Choose your pain and choose your hard. There is pain in progress, but there is pain in stagnation and decline too. It's hard to do well, but it's equally hard to live a life of failure. Choose your pain and choose your hard. If progress is what you choose, congratulations, you are with me. I will now prepare you to fight this tough battle, win, and be rewarded for it. I will tell you how to get a life filled with success, joy, and happiness. In the coming chapters, I will give you my 11 secret rules of success and life. You must follow them if you want to win. Nobody will tell you these secrets, for nobody really cares about you. I do, which is why I wrote this book. Read, understand, and implement these rules in your life with full attention and devotion. Do not see this book as yet another piece of content, a mindless Insta reel, an inspirational YouTube video, a quote you read on a poster. All those things take minutes to make. This book has required me to live 5 decades of my life to write. So, if you want a DR version, a quick summary, or just the headlines because you don't have time or you are not really a reader, then stop. Just stop right here. Leave and go back to your mediocre instant gratification life. If you don't realize that important things in life require focus, attention, and deep work, how are you ever going to make it? I can transform your life, give you something that nobody will ever give you. All I need from you is your focus and commitment. Do I have it? Key takeaways: the atmosphere you grow up in at home, school, and college is entirely different from that of the outside world. Except that the world based on merit, equality, and hard work, truth and fair play does not exist. This is your first step to moving ahead in life. The world functions on the concept of class and hierarchy, and moving from one class to another is extremely difficult. An unfair world does not feel unfair to the one with all the advantage. Breaking class barriers requires a lot of painful hard work. Which pain would you rather choose? Stagnating and being unhappy, or the one you need to endure to move ahead? You have my focus, Viraj said, and I will commit 100%. Good. What do you want? I want to jump class. I am in class 3. My father, too. He was a factory worker, as was my grandfather. You can jump. Are you ready to do the work for it? I can try. Tell me what to do, where to start. I will tell you, but you will have to get me my lunch again tomorrow. I walked Viraj to the door, but before Viraj could say any more, I added with a smile, Chinese tomorrow. Is Royal China good? We'll order from there, and waved him goodbye. He waved back, still looking perplexed.